What you're seeing is the CCTV footage and the last known footage of a 21-year-old Canadian woman named Elisa Lam. This footage was taken from the elevator of the Cecil Hotel in Los Angeles on January 31st, 2013, shortly before she is believed to have died. In the 2.5-minute clip, the camera at one of the elevator cab's rear corners looks down from the ceiling, offering a view not just of its interior, but the hallway outside. It is somewhat grainy and the timestamp at the bottom is obscured. At some points, Lam's mouth is pixelated. At the start, Lam enters, clad in a red zippered hoodie sweatshirt over a grey t-shirt, with black shorts and sandals. She enters from the left and goes up to the control panel, appears to select several floors, and then steps back to the corner. After a few seconds, during which the door fails to close, she steps up to it, leans forward so her head is through the door, looks in both directions, and then quickly steps back in, backing up to the wall, and then into the corner near the control panel. The door remains open. She walks to it again and stands in the hallway, leaning on the side. Suddenly, she steps out into the hall, then to her side, back in, looking to the side, then back out. She then steps sideways again, and for a few seconds she is mostly invisible behind the wall she has her back to just outside. The door remains open. Her right arm can be seen going up to her head, and then she turns to re-enter the cab, putting both hands on the side of the door as she does. She goes to the control panel, presses many more buttons, some more than once, and then returns to the wall she had come into the elevator from, putting both hands over her ears again briefly as she walks back to the section of wall she had been standing against before. The door remains open. She turns to her right and begins rubbing her forearms together, then waves her hands out to her sides with palms flat and fingers outstretched, while bowing forward slightly and rocking gently. This can all be seen through the door, which remains open, after she backs to the wall again and walks away to the left. It finally closes. Her body was discovered 2 weeks later at the bottom of a water tank on the roof of the building. Hotel workers found the body while responding to complaints about the water in the hotel being discolored, as well as a foul smell and taste. Her decomposing body was found completely naked, with her clothes floating beside her in the tank. Luckily for those who may have accidentally ingested the contaminated liquid, the threat posed by a human cadaver in the water tank is much less significant than one might expect. The test results showed no presence of harmful bacteria. While her disappearance has already garnered significant media attention, it wasn't until police released the footage that interest in the case began to snowball, with many viewers questioning Lam's seemingly odd behaviour. There are numerous uncanny coincidences and suspicious circumstances surrounding this case, but oddly enough, her behaviour may not be one of them. According to the site Body Language Success, Lam's behaviour bears signs of a tentatively playful nature, perhaps flirting with another guest, or maybe even trying to entertain a child. While it is not seen or known whom she is interacting with, it can reasonably be assumed that the person is simply standing slightly further down the hall, out of the CCTV camera's view. Some have noted that the elevator door appears to stay open for an unnaturally long time, but it has since been confirmed by recent guests that tested the elevator for themselves, the only one in the building, that pressing the door open button, which she can be seen pressing multiple times, will cause the door to remain open approximately 2 minutes. Though most assume her to be in the lobby when the footage was captured, it is apparent from the video that she's actually on a much higher floor, possibly even the top floor. She was not in view of other guests or workers at this time. What is most odd about the footage, however, is that the timestamp in the corner is not only oddly placed, but highly corrupted. The speed of the video has also been slowed down substantially, stretching just under 3 minutes of footage out to just over 4. There is a point in the video where the time clearly skips ahead, indicating the loss of an indeterminate amount of time. However, inexplicably, there is over a minute of footage where Lam is not visible in the frame whatsoever, leading viewers to wonder why it was edited and presented in this fashion. Another strange coincidence is there was an outbreak of tuberculosis in the Skid Row area of LA, which is located fairly close to the Cecil Hotel, around the time her body was discovered. The name of the test to determine the presence of the disease? It's literally called the laum Elisa. The circumstances surrounding Lam's death share shocking similarities to the Japanese horror film Dark Water. In the film, the death of a young girl is discovered when boarders at an apartment complain of dark, foul water and find a body in the building's water tank. There is also a scene in the film where the protagonist encounters a spectre of the girl in the building's elevator. All of this probably has nothing whatsoever to do with the incident, but the similarities are creepy nonetheless. The protagonist of the film, at one point, even wears an outfit very similar to Elisa's. Elisa Lam's personal Tumblr blog, Nouvelle Nouveau, continued to update up to December of 2013, close to a year after her death. While this is confirmed to be possible with Tumblr's queuing system, the question remains as to why she would choose to queue so few posts so far ahead of time, or why she didn't also queue up other posts for the months between June and December. While this may not be relevant to the case whatsoever, it still strikes a lot of people as somewhat odd. So, here are the facts about the case. The roof could be accessed without a key and without setting off the alarm. There is a fire escape that could have been taken up to the roof of the building that can be accessed via a window at the far end of the hallway. Also, there are ladders on at least one side of the tanks she was found in. Firefighters dispatched to the scene cut into the side of the tank water to remove the body. The inside of the tank shows that there is no ladder nor any other method present inside the tank that would allow a person to escape or even close the tank from the inside. Regardless of what psychological state she may have been in, there is no plausible way that Elisa could have gotten into the tank, then closed it from the inside on her own. Her death was first ruled as could not be determined, then later crossed out, and ruled as accidental. Foul play was somehow ruled out, but it's never explained how or why they came to this conclusion. Interestingly enough, the coroner that performed the autopsy, Dr. Yule Wang, had a complaint filed against him from a previous botched autopsy. The third page of the official autopsy report mentions the presence of sand on her clothing that coincides with the type of particulate one might find on the roof of a building. The amount found would indicate that, at some point, either Lam herself or her clothing had unnecessary contact with the roof of the building. The second page of the report mentions an abrasion on her left knee, implying a possible fall. The Cecil Hotel has since changed its name to the Stay on Main. Not only is it located in an extremely sketchy area and has a morbid history, but it's also notorious for poor service, minimal security, and appalling conditions. So, out of all the conspiracies and theories, the one thing that still sticks out to me that hasn't been explained is if she opened the lid on her own, took off her clothes, and drowned in the small pool of water, who put the lid back on?